Hi students, this is Sister Mills. I'm making this screencast to give you some guidelines on how to grade yourself on the discussion board this semester. So this semester in English 106, it's a little bit different than what you've done in previous semesters. You will actually be grading yourselves. So this is kind of an on your honor system. And while I will be checking throughout the semester to make sure your grading is accurate, I wanted to make sure you knew some had some guidelines or had um, some instruction on how to grade yourself. Okay, so here on my screen I have this rubric. It has two different sections, each worth 10 points. This first section is, it says, did you make an initial post of 100 to 150 words by the midweek due date on the reading assignments discussion board? So this section has two different parts to it. Okay, that first part is the length of that post. Was your post between 100 and 150 words minimum? And also, did you make it? Did you post it by the midweek due date by Wednesday at 11 o'clock p.m.? And so if you can say yes to both of those things, go ahead and give yourself 10 out of 10. If you can't say yes to both of those things, then you should take off a couple points for yourself on that section. And then the second section says, did you respond to two other threads on the discussion board by the end of the week due date? And so this part actually has a couple different components to it. You need to respond to at least two threads. Okay, if you do more, that's great. Two minimum. So if you can say yes to that, then that's you get full points for that. And then did you post them by the end of the week due date, which is Saturday at 11 o'clock p.m.? And also, are each of them between 50 and 75 words minimum? Okay, those are three different guidelines for this second section. If, like I said, if you can say yes to each of those questions, then go ahead and give yourself a 10 out of 10 for that section, and then your grading will be complete for your discussion board. So I just wanted to show you a couple examples of student work. I have a good or a great example, a perfect example, one that could use a little work, and then one that was just missing half the assignment. So I'm going to show each of those to you. This one up here is that the first example I wanted to show you. This student got a 20 out of 20 because she met all the requirements on each of these sections. Her first post was between 100 and 150 words, and it was posted before the Wednesday due date. And then the second section also got a 10 out of 10 because she had two posts, and they were each between 50 and 75 words minimum, and they were both posted by the end of the week. So she got a 20 out of 20. Now, this next example is a little bit different. The first post was a little bit shorter. It did not meet the 100 and 150 to 150 words minimum, but it was posted by the midweek due date. Okay, so this student actually got a 2 out of 10 on that because it was super short, and then the second section, he had 5 responses to classmates. I can move that up for you. He did have 5 responses to classmates, but each of them were pretty insignificant as far as putting thought and time and effort into it. And so his responses were actually less than 50 to 75 words, but they were posted by the end of the week. So he actually got an 8 out of 10 on that one. So he got partial credit on both of those, which actually equaled out to be a 10 out of 20. And then this last example is also a 10 out of 20, but for a different reason. This student did a really great job on their initial post. He posted, his initial post was between 100 and 150 words, and it was also posted before the midweek due date. And then, but he had something going, okay? So he was not able to complete the responses to classmates, and so he actually got a 0 out of 10 on that second section since it wasn't complete. So his overall score was a 10 out of 20. So students, I hope this gives you some guidelines on how to grade your discussion board posts. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know.